最新フレームワークリチウム、今日はその最新情報を開発者のネイトとジョエルに直撃しました。ではその様子をどうぞ。
Well, Lithium is a full-stack PHP framework that we started about 2 years ago and released first to the public coming up on 1 year ago. And it was the first one written exclusively for PHP 5.3 and uses many of the new technologies that 5.3 has to kind of create some new paradigms in how we design web software.
It's one of the newer frameworks that has been around. We have the first generation of frameworks that came about a couple of years ago. Lithium is based on a lot of things that we learned and did in Cake PHP. Nate, who was the lead developer for Cake PHP for a while, and myself, who was a core contributor as well. And it takes a lot of the lessons that we've learned, tries to apply them in a 5.3 paradigm, all the new things that have been available in PHP 5.3, and tries to make a better framework out of all of these things.
Yeah. Right. Well, download the framework, obviously would be good. We have a series of tutorials, beginning with the blog tutorial and working up through like authentication, different tutorials using architectural things that we have, like filters, things like that. Actually about to release a photo blog tutorial that demonstrates how to use MongoDB and GridFS along with route handlers to create a photo blog where you upload photos and actually extract geotags from them and use those geotags to use MongoDB's geospatial search indexing. Right, so these techniques of using aspect-oriented programming allows us to wrap other functionality around particular methods. So let's say caching, which is a great example. Whereas in a normal application, you might use caching at all 3 layers of your MVC application. That's taking this one bit of functionality, which is caching, and spreading it all over the place. So you have no consistent control over how your application caches things. So if you want to make big changes to how you use caching, you have to touch every single layer of your application, many different parts of the code. So we say instead, we'll define all of our caching rules in one place and use this one place to attach it to different parts of the framework seamlessly. So your model view and controller don't know that they have any caching functionality applied at all because the caching logic all lives in one place. Yes, actually we're in the process of building a documentation system that will grow to be very extensible, allow other people to write tutorials, and allow those tutorials and API documentation to be translated easily. So that's actually something we're working with a few people on, including you, Ando.
Well, yeah, I will do so. Yeah, so
We're still a young framework. We're not 1.0 technically yet, even though there have been startups and companies that have used Lithium to create their applications, to create their business around it. The reason we're not 1.0 yet is there's a lot of little details left that we're trying to iron out, and it's the kind of details that you want to make sure you get right. Otherwise, it's something you have to carry forward for quite a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, we're planning on that to have, before 1.0, we feel that it is necessary for us to have documentation available so that people can use it. Instead of just going to 1.0 and saying like the code is ready, we really want to try and make an effort to make sure that when we do get to 1.0, that there's a substantial amount of documentation available to help new developers actually start using it. We don't want to have to wait till 1.1 until people feel comfortable using it because it took us that long until we could fill out documentation.
Yeah, as far as we're concerned, it's not a stable release until people know how to use it, and people won't know how to use it unless we have adequate documentation.
yeah, so people are looking forward to see 1.0, and yeah, of course, I'm one of them. So
We are too.
Yeah, us too.
yeah, so thanks so much for today.
残念ながら今日はここまでです。詳細については PHP 祭りにてご確認ください。では。